Welcome to the Wild and Free with Anna Love podcast. I am your host, Anna Love. Wild and Free was born to inspire women to release old patterns that have kept them from living their best life. As a subconscious freedom specialist, I strive to reprogram and reframe generational trauma, not only in myself and the lives of my 3 daughters, but for those who are ready to transform anxiety, fear, and shame into authenticity, freedom, and love. Whether you are 20 years old or 70 years young, buckle up for raw and honest explorations in doing the work necessary so that you may shine your brightest light from your heart and onto the lives of others. Welcome to Wild and Free with Anna Love podcast. I am Anna Love. So happy to have you here. Now, before we get started, I'd love for you to like or subscribe. If this session or this episode resonates with you, I'd love you to show your appreciation and extra bonus points if you share this episode with someone that you think will get value out of it. So today we are talking about healthy anger versus rage. And what's the difference? Now, there was a time when I used anger as my leverage. It was my identity. How did I come into doing this? Well, it was a learned behavior. It was something that I did to protect myself. And maybe I didn't know that I was doing it consciously, or maybe I did, but I definitely knew it unconsciously that if I put up this protective barrier and this anger, that I could keep people away. And that's what I did for several decades. So let's dive into what's the difference between having healthy anger, which is really important, versus rage, which actually breaks down your health. It deteriorates your health. And I mean, I've had people in my family who have been in rageful episodes who have dropped dead on the spot. Like, it's a real thing. Here's why it's good to have healthy anger, because number one, it sets clear boundaries. So sometimes if someone crosses your boundary and, there may be a part of you that knows, I want to tell this person no, I want to tell this person to back off. But there may be another part of you that comes in and says, oh, we can't do that. We're going to, make them feel bad or something like that, right? So we've got dual parts of us that are conflicting inside of us. Well, when we are clear that having a little bit of fuel, a little bit of fire to get ourselves to say no, like that's unacceptable. That's my boundary. That's a no right there. That's a hard no for me. When we come at somebody or when we respond in that type of energy, it is very clear that what we stand for. So without having that, that edge or that anger, and I'm naming it anger because, when we are violated or when people start to push back on our values, our beliefs, and what we stand for, there is going to be a little bit of resistance inside of us, right? And it's okay. That's definitely okay. That's healthy. That's what we call healthy anger. So it's the fuel that creates our power. And we want our children to learn this. We want to be a model for our kids, and in our relationships. We want to have a healthy way of speaking, and not everything has to be laced in, smiles and sugar coated, right? There needs to be, and it's okay to have this level of transparency and, the clarity that arises when we are solid in our knowing, and what we say is what we mean, and what we mean is what we say. And sometimes there's going to be a little bit of, uncomfortableness around that for other people. And that's okay. That it's still healthy anger. It all lives under that same umbrella of healthy anger. So when we are having that healthy anger, it is when we are allowing ourselves to be assertive. Okay. So we're not being explosive. We're being assertive. And as I just mentioned, we want to show up in the world with that assertiveness. So another thing that healthy anger does is that it transforms, which means it shifts power dynamics. It shifts the way that we communicate. It shifts how people see us and how they know how to speak to us and how to be with us, right? It's another form of showing up in the world, how we are true to ourselves. And when we are true to ourselves, we're not afraid of what other people are going to say when we show up in that transparent way. So it's not a destructive type of rage, right? It's a healthy anger. So rage, well, let's talk about rage for a minute. Rage, on the other hand, is what happens when your anger has been silenced for way too long, right? When we do not give ourselves permission to express that healthy anger, then it builds up, it pents up, we push it down. And year after year after year, it's like holding a beach ball down in the water. It's eventually when you're not looking, or when you let go of your pressure that you're pushing down, when something gives, that beach ball is going to come up and explode. And I don't know about you, but I have been there many, many times. And I've seen lots of people be there many, many times, where explosiveness is the way that they communicate. They go from 0 to 100 without any capacity to stand in their truth. Their truth is, I'm at 100 and I don't know how to communicate at a level 10 or a level 50. I have to go to a level 100 because that's where I'm used to being heard, or that's the vibration that I'm used to living around people who do the same thing, right? And when you grow up in a household where people are constantly enraged, whether you are doing something horrible, lighting the house on fire, or whether you dropped a glass of milk and the milk spilled, that person goes to rage, then naturally you're going to grow up doing this as an adult. So noticing the distinction between healthy anger and rage is when we have held that healthy anger back and we do not allow ourselves to even express that. So healthy anger, when it's pushed down and pushed down and pushed down, like I said, it festers, it builds up, and then one day it erupts uncontrollably, destructively, in a toxic way. And not only does it destroy your communication with the person that you are with, whether it be a coworker or your relationship or your family members, but almost more importantly is that it starts to deteriorate you from the inside out. It starts to break down your health, right? And, like I said, I've had family members who, passed away of heart conditions, and high blood pressure, but yet they were doing it while they were like in a rageful state. So we have to look at, how does being in a rageful state, how does this impact us? And that's what is so important here, is that learning that unprocessed rage will kill not only your joy, it will kill you. Yeah. Not only will it rob you of your peace and your joy while you're living, but it will shorten your lifespan. So how important is this topic today? I think it's super important not to fear anger, realizing that anger can be healthy, but listening to what it's actually saying. What's underneath? Is it a belief where you're not being heard, or someone's not, seeing you for who you truly are? What is it? Like, what's the trigger that's underneath this need to be angry, and letting it guide you rather than consume you? I think that's the most important thing. When you start to learn this and you become a master of your voice and of the way that you're being, you start to master your life, right? You become unstoppable. You become unshakable. You become unfuckwithable. And it's a good thing. Okay. So if you are excited about this episode, please share it with someone that you love, that you care about, that you think would need to hear this. Please like and subscribe to this podcast on as many platforms as you are involved in, right? Maybe you're listening on Spotify and you want to go over to YouTube and check it out. I would appreciate it so much if you could do that for me. I'm growing this podcast and growing my reach. And I love being here for you. And, hearing that I provide value is one of the most important things for me. That is my truth. That is my purpose. And I am here to help others grow and shine. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will talk to you next time. Ready to take the next step in designing a life you love? The Life Design Blueprint membership is your all access pass to exclusive tools, live guidance, and transformational support to help you move from self doubt to self worth. Building on the principles from the Design a Life That Lights You Up ebook, this membership is a deeper dive into creating a life that aligns with who you truly are. You will go beyond surface level self help with hypnotic techniques and live discussions that create real lasting change in your mindset and life. You will receive ongoing support from me and connect with a community of like minded women on a similar journey. Each week, I deliver an empowering hypnosis which offers a unique way of working with your subconscious to reframe limiting beliefs, elevate self worth, and reinforce positive habits. All of our sessions will be recorded and added to our on demand library for easy access to members. Join me by clicking the link below, and I'll see you on the inside. If today's episode resonated with you and you're ready to take your leadership to the next level, I'd love to invite you to join my free private Facebook group, Life Design Blueprint. It's a sacred space where I invite and empower women leaders like you to lead with purpose, love, and authenticity. Inside, you'll find tools, insights, and a supportive community to help you clear your shadows, step into your power, and create the life and leadership you're meant for. Head over to Facebook and search for Life Design Blueprint to join us, or check out the link in the show notes to get started. Remember, you're not just a leader, you're a woman with a purpose, and the world needs your authentic light. Until next time, lead with love and live with intention. Well, thank you so much for tuning into Wild and Free with Anna Love and being a part of this magical journey with me. If you like this episode, make sure to subscribe and share with someone you love, even someone you just like. Bonus points if you leave a review. Show notes below gives you everything that you'll need to know, and I'll see you next time. So long for now.